Osceola started as a lumber mill in 1884. The St. Croix River was one of the main transportation routes in the 17 and 1800s, and 10 steamboats were built at Osceola. However, low water, log jams, and winter limited the use and dependability of the steamboats. Flour millers in Minneapolis built the Minneapolis, St. Paul, and Sault Ste. Marie Railroad. It was completed in 1887 and later became known as the SOO Line. During the height of railroad activity, at least 10 trains a day passed through Osceola and Dresser. After the arrival of the automobile, train service declined. Passenger service ended in 1961. This is a photo of a steam engine passing over a trestle in the same location as the present-day Highway 35 overpass. This is maintenance of way as done in the 1890s era. These are photos of the elevator, one in many buildings that serviced the Osceola Depot during the early half of the 20th century. The original depot at Osceola was a small wooden structure near the tracks. In 1890, a train derailment caused extensive damage to the station. Thanks to the influence of a local part-time resident, O.C. Wyman, who was a major shipper of grain products and had influence with the railroad, a top-of-the-line depot was constructed between 1915 and 1916. It was constructed of wire-cut red brick, and quite uncommon for the time, it had central hot water heat and indoor plumbing. This is a photo of the cedar bend steel trestle and drawbridge that replaced the original wooden trestle. Today, a causeway replaces the trestle, but the drawbridge is still being used. Dresser, Wisconsin was originally named Dresser Junction. It was located at the junction of rail lines from Duluth, Minnesota, St. Paul, Minnesota, and Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan. The last scheduled passenger train went through Dresser in 1961. The depot became empty and unused. Local resident and volunteer worker for the Minnesota Transportation Museum, Bill Fannis, led a committee that renovated the depot. During the seasonal operation of the Osceola and St. Croix Valley Railway, riders taking the Dresser train have time to disembark, explore inside the Dresser depot, and watch while the engine is moved from one end of the train to the other. Railroads were the main form of transportation in the late 1800s and the early 1900s. People from southern states would spend summers at a hotel located near a mineral spring south of Osceola. The spring emitted a sweet-tasting water high in minerals and naturally occurring salts. When people returned to the South in the fall, the reputation of the healing and refreshing properties of the water followed them. Enterprising business people capitalized on this by building Bethania Mineral Springs water bottling plant. Bottled Mineral Springs water became so popular that the SOO Line built a spur line and water tower to fill train tank cars with mineral water so it could be shipped all over the United States. Experience history while riding on our Osceola St. Croix Valley Railway. Here's a photo of car number 1102. It is one of the Minnesota Transportation's most interesting pieces of equipment. It is a triple combine car, meaning that it served three functions: a passenger car with a 20-seat compartment, a baggage and express section, and a railway post office. Built in 1914, it was intended for use as a single-car passenger coach on freight trains. When one of our railroad post office clerks is volunteering, you can watch him catch mail on the fly from 11 to 2 on our Dresser run. Watch closely and you'll be able to see him catch the mail on the fly. When we get to the end of the ride, the engine will unhook, go up to a switch, and come back on the side track, recouple to our train, and pull us back to Osceola.